stand like we did. Good morning. My name is Daniel Alvarado, Digital Media Director for Reeves County. We'll be having a statement from Charles Lino, the City Manager for Town of Pecos City. Then there's going to be follow-up questions only to Chief Lee and Chief Tarango. Now I'm going to open it. Charles Lino.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. First of all, I want to express condolences to the tragedy, to any of those that were affected by this tragedy. I do have an update this morning. Last night we were reporting that we had one fatality. This morning, that second one that was in critical condition is now confirmed as a fatality. So we do have 2 fatalities. We did have 3 injured. There is still 2 cars that we're looking at that did have qualified hazmat waste in it. They are lithium-ion batteries. Right now, those are contained. One of them has, there's also some airbags that the federal government has concerns about. But right now, our Emergency Services Division and our police department have everything contained over there, along with the other law enforcement units. We've brought TxDOT into it, so we're working on traffic control. Things are moving a lot better this afternoon or this morning than they were last night. We will continue to give updates when things are warranted. I know that right now the cleanup is going on by Union Pacific. It is anticipated to be a fairly quick process, but it is an ongoing investigation, so I don't, anything that we do is going to be shared in this format so that it's not going to be individual. Anybody that reach out individually, you're going to hear the same thing from me that I'm sharing with all of you all. It's not going to be multiple versions of the same thing. What I want to do now is give you all the opportunity that if you do have technical questions, I'm not the technical guy, but I would like to turn it over to our Chief of Police to say a couple things, and then our Fire Chief, and then let you all ask questions if you all have any. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Tarango. I'm the Chief of Police for the Pecos Police Department. 5 p.m. yesterday afternoon, we were dispatched to the area of U.S. Highway 285 regarding a train accident with a commercial motor vehicle. Once we arrived, Emergency Service District had set up the command post. Already the search and rescue efforts were going on. We had units that were in the area blocking the traffic as well as working in the search and rescue operation. We initially were given that there were 1 fatality and 3 injured. Now, as Mr. Lino said, we can confirm that that's 2 fatalities. Our condolences and sincere, heartfelt sympathy goes out to the family, as well as the Union Pacific Railroad family as well, as these were veteran employees of that agency. We had a collaborative effort with Texas DPS, the Sheriff's Department, ESD, and the Pecos Police Department. DPS did assist with a commercial motor vehicle inspector that assisted us with the investigation. At this time, it is obviously still an ongoing investigation, and cleanup is underway at this time. If there's any other questions you may have for me, I'll be glad to try to answer.
Is there any way you can clarify who those 2 people who died were? Were they in a commercial vehicle or on the train?
The 2 people that did pass were on the train.
And there are 3 people who are critical?
No, ma'am, they sustained minor injuries. Yes, ma'am, and they have, from what I understand, been released. They were some treated on scene.
And have those 2 people who passed away, have they been identified?
They have been identified.
Names
At this time, we are not releasing the names. We're still doing a notification of the next of kin. Union Pacific is also facilitating that as their minor children, that this is a family member. So we want to be respectful of that, respectful to Union Pacific and the loss of their employees as well. But that information, we will have it forthcoming.
Any description of the 2 people you
No descriptions other than 2 males.
And as for those who sustained minor injuries, any updates that you have on them, just how they're doing today?
Other than the release with treatment from ESD yesterday, we haven't had any feedback from them today. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Ronald Lee. I'm the Joint Emergency Services Chief for Reeves County ESD. Sounds like the city manager and the police chief have given you a fairly good report of what has happened out there. If you have any specific questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them. Yes, sir.
So it seems like there's this, blue clay card, people can contact if there's like an emergency, train tracks. Can you explain, how important is it, they can contact, that number instead of like, 911?
Certainly, it is very important to activate if anyone ever gets stuck on a track in that manner. First thing would be to call 911 because we can certainly assist with those types of efforts. Yes, there is usually placarding at these crossings that allow people to have an access number to that. However, obviously that's not well educated, probably as it should be. But definitely, I always say if you're in doubt, you're having an emergency, call 911 immediately.
So if that person would call that number, could that give them different in that situation?
I don't know the details of what actually transpired, so it's difficult to answer that question effectively. Yes, sir.
And I'm not sure if you were there present just at the scene when everything happened. Just like, can you give us a minor description just so the perspective was right?
Okay, yeah, I came in a little bit later than the initial response, probably about 5-10 minutes out. What I did see, of course, was essentially what you have probably already seen on social media with the large pileup of train cars and all that. Is that good enough for your?
That works.
Okay.
Would you be able to speak on the extension of damage done to the Chamber of Commerce building and surrounding structures?
There was significant enough damage that we have advised all involved not to have anyone enter that building until an engineer can clear, until they have an engineer come in and clear that that building is safe to enter.
Do we know if there were any individuals inside of the Chamber of Commerce building at the time of the crash?
Yes, my understanding was there were folks that were in there. However, they were out, I think, when the responders got there, and they were some of the ones that needed assistance for minor injuries. Yes.
And can you reiterate, can you provide details about the hazardous materials? I know you were speaking of the lithium-ion batteries on board the train. Can you just reiterate what that was specifically, just for people who might be concerned as to what the hazardous material was?
Yeah, lithium-ion batteries were in one of the containers, as well as the other container apparently contained airbags for vehicles. So it is listed as a hazardous material. It's not a major hazardous material. So the biggest concern was the lithium-ion batteries. My understanding, speaking with the Union Pacific representatives, is that that container was not in any way compromised. So right now it is being monitored, and it has been monitored since the beginning, both air and thermal, just to make sure that there isn't any runaway incidents. That is always a concern after a high shock incident for lithium-ion batteries.
Of course, and how confident are officials that the hazardous materials are fully contained and what measures are being taken?
Okay, right now, Union Pacific does have control of those containers. Their hazmat team has advised us that they are doing a continuous monitoring, and that they do not feel concerned at this time.
And that section just where the crash occurred, that going to be blocked off or closed for the weekend until they're cleaned up?
I can't give you specifics on how long that's going to take, but as long as it's as long as this incident is active and they're still in the cleanup efforts, that area will stay closed. They have told us that their timeline is approximately 24 to 48 hours, but that's assuming there's no hiccups that occur during that time.
Any of the businesses that are near the accident area, are they running normal business, or
I believe in that area, there's really not, you want to answer that? Okay, sure.
We've been in communication with several of the businesses that are around there. Right now, we do have most of the roadways blocked off. We are not going to disallow them to go to their businesses, but the chances of a lot of commerce going on are going to be slim because we do have the streets blocked, and we need to keep it so that emergency services can take care of business down there. And I anticipate that through at least today, if not tomorrow. But we are in communication with many of the business owners, and we're making sure that we're being forthright and giving them the information that they need.
For people who aren't familiar with the area, is it more of a commercial area? Were there any residents nearby?
In the area that was affected, there are no residents down there. There is a lot of commercial business. It's our downtown area. Right now, we're working with all of the agencies, including TxDOT, working with our county engineers and our city street department to make sure that the detours are as manageable as possible. So there's going to be some information that's coming out that when we do get that, we'd like to share it with y'all to make sure that you're putting it out there so that everybody's aware of the detours that are going to be required for the next few days.
Any other questions?
Have there been any challenges in managing the situation at all?
All in all, the incident ran fairly well. We did not really have any seriously challenging occurrences. Communications were well. The city, the ESDs, and the law enforcement all worked well together to manage this incident. So all in all, I believe that the incident ran well.
Any message you have for the people of Pecos?
Do you have any messages that you would like to express to the town of Pecos City?
The only thing that I'd like to really say is just please be patient. Know that we had a lot of people that want to, of course, see the area. Let that be your priority. Stay away from the area. Let the emergency services workers and it'll be open for business again as soon as we can. So just try not to clog up the area by just wanting to go get selfies or pictures and stuff like that. We've had enough of that already. We need to keep that out away, keep people away from there.
And within the last 24 hours, just how has the partnership with the Union Pacific been since the accident?
With all of the agencies, it's been fantastic. We've been, I mean, as you can imagine, everybody that has an acronym across the country has now reached out. We've had a lot of support from every one of our state and federal representatives and congressmen. They've reached out. A lot of surrounding cities expressed their desire to help in any way. So it is it's a West Texas community effort. So it's kind of cool that everybody reaches out and takes care of each other. So we've asked them to be patient. If we need something, we'll let everybody know. At this point in time, we think the situation's controlled.
And we know that this whole situation is under investigation, but is there anything that we can see or know that would have caused this crash initially?
It's ongoing, and I think that there's a lot of videos out there. I mean, you all have seen them, but I think it's prudent to make sure that we let all of the law enforcement and investigative officials take care of business before we make any confirming details, because I'm not the professional here. They are, and I think that we owe it to all of them to let them do their job, and then we will make sure that we share that information as soon as we have a viable outcome that I think satisfies everybody.
Can you remind us?
Pecos Police Department is the lead agency on this.
And who are the other agencies that are also involved?
Anybody you can think of. We have TxDOT, we have USDOT that's making calls, we have Union Pacific, we have, of course, all of our local law enforcement and emergency services. We have state troopers, so we have the state involved with DPS. NTSB is in, FRA is in. We've been in communication with the NTSB and the USDOT out of Washington, so everybody's coming down. So trying to name them all, I'm going to leave somebody off, I can promise you that. Any other questions? If not, I thank you all for being here, and we will give you an update as soon as we can. we'll make sure that it's posted somewhere so that it is. I don't want to give you a specific time frame because I can't guarantee you that this afternoon I'm going to be able to give you anything more than I have now. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, everyone.